And Jim, welcome to the Sports Voice on NUR. What's your question? Gary Barnett for Coach of the Year. Well, I think that's probably a pretty good bet.
Hey, man, what's up?
Not much.
Hey, man, we gonna get down here with this Purple Pride stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Hey, come on.
Yeah.
Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern Wildcats. Northwestern Wildcats.
It's the Wildcats.
It's the Wildcats. Talk to me now.
Purple pride rise high in Northwestern. As the cats strive for #1 to be the best. Wildcats defense, a class act with offense skills from a #1 running back. Steve throws the bomb as the cats excel with more power than an Amtrak derail. So you might as well say, Northwestern Purple Cats are here to stay.
Purple Pride, Purple Cats.
Northwestern Wildcats.
Purple Pride, Purple Cats.
Northwestern Wildcats.
Purple Pride, Purple Cats.
Northwestern Wildcats.
Purple Pride, Purple Cats. Come on.
Everybody's talking about the Wildcats and Darnell premier running back. Notre Dame, no Purdue, don't have a clue, and Penn State simply couldn't come through. Wildcat uniforms roar when they hit the field. Touchdowns and interceptions at will to thrill. The fans, come on y'all, let's make them understand.
Purple Pride, Purple Cats.
Northwestern Wildcats.
Purple Pride, Purple Cats.
Everybody's talking about the Wildcats.
Purple Pride, Purple Cats.
Northwestern Wildcats.
Purple Pride, Purple Cats.
Everybody's talking about the Wildcats.
Everybody come on. Everybody come on. Hey.
Gary Barnett is a man of his word. When he became head coach at Northwestern in 1991, he made a promise to take the purple to Pasadena.
When I came up here to watch a basketball game my senior year in high school, he was presenting Lee Gissendaner with the Silver Football Award for being the Big Ten's Player of the Year, presented, I think, by the Sun-Times. And he had said that his mission is to bring the purple to Pasadena.
On November 25th, 1995, that promise became reality. For several hours, 16 of the Northwestern players gathered on campus to watch the Ohio State-Michigan game. A Michigan victory meant a Rose Bowl berth for Northwestern.
This is a big, big possession.
Michigan highlights were greeted with applause. Nervous faces followed Ohio State scores. John Spagnola of ABC Sports provided live reaction from Gary Barnett during the course of the game.
That's right, Gary. Michigan's up 9, 12 minutes to go. What are you thinking?
Run the ball, use all the clock, and don't give up a big play. Keep squeezing them. We got them where they want them now.
All right, there's a little extra coaching going on here, Mark.
Anything Lloyd needs right now, I'll give it to him.
Okay. Back to Mark Jones in Ann Arbor.
The Northwestern players found themselves rooting for a Michigan team they'd beaten earlier in the season. The Wildcats' attitude was simple: go blue. Late in the game, a Michigan interception secured the victory, and the Northwestern players erupted in high fives and hugs. The Wildcats were Big Ten champs, not co-champs, outright champions, undefeated in conference play.
I want to ask our guys if they want to go to Pasadena.
The players and their long-suffering fans were California dreaming about going to the Rose Bowl to face Southern Cal.
I did think with a winning season that we'd be in a bowl game by now, but for this season to turn out the way it did, you know, it's like a dream come true.
This is my first Rose, and you know what? I think I'm going to make it my last and let me go again. I'll never forget this day.
It's a feel-good issue, and I think it's probably the feel-good issue of the decade, if not the century. And when you haven't had success for a long time, and all of a sudden it's thrust on you tremendously all at once, it means more.
So move over, Dallas Cowboys. There's a new America's team, the Northwestern Wildcats, because America loves a great rags to riches story. 1995 was the year the Wildcats gave new hope to underdogs and long shots everywhere. This is a story that goes far beyond the city limits of Evanston, Illinois. It's a feel-good gift to the nation, just in time for the holidays. Everybody's talking about the Cats.
Very special. I think anybody who's ever worn the purple and white at Northwestern has a great sense of satisfaction and pride, if not exhilaration. I've been waiting a long time to do this, wear this Big Ten championship hat, and now I can.
Well, it was a remarkable year, totally unexpected by all the college football coaches and fans, and really it's the what I would say the comeback of a century, not just a decade.
Those of us who were there during the era of Ara Parsigan remember what it was like to win as many games as you lost. But even then, we were very happy with a 500 season, and it was just out of the question to think that the Wildcats would be competing with the Ohio States and the Michigan, and to a certain extent the Wisconsins and the Iowas and the Illinois, all of whom have been to the Rose Bowl since the mid-'80s.
I'm boring a lot of people today about Northwestern. Any speech, any meeting I go into, I bring up Northwestern.
What they're proving, in other words, is that brain does not interfere with great football performance.
I never dreamt of it, to imagine that they would go to a bowl or that they would beat Michigan and Notre Dame and Indiana and Wisconsin in the same year is pretty startling.
We're as stunned as people were when the man walked on the moon.
I think this season is doubly exciting to know that the Wildcats 10-1 going to the Rose Bowl when no one ever expected it. But also to know that your university is so high academically and considered such a good school that when you accomplish feats in athletics, it makes it even more special.
Still hard to believe it's like a Cinderella season, but I know those guys don't want to thought of that because they work hard to get there, and they work hard as anybody else in the conference, and they knew they had a talent, and I did too.
I'm just real happy with them, the way they turned that program around, and sure, I think it is one of the biggest stories come out of college football in a while, just come from the doormat to the Rose Bowl, hopefully Rose Bowl champs. It's just real exciting.
The Northwestern Wildcats believed, then achieved. Doing the radio play-by-play, I had a front row seat to watch one of the great sports stories of our lifetime unfold. The Wildcats became prime-time players, shocking a national media unaware of Gary Barnett's sleeping giant. Victories over Notre Dame, Michigan, and Penn State, a trifecta accomplished only twice previously, led to Northwestern's steady climb in the national rankings. So, cat lovers, get ready to relive all the special moments the Wildcats provided and savor them all as we bring you Taking the Purple to Pasadena. Taking the Purple to Pasadena is brought to you in part by WBBM News Radio 78 and by the Chicago Sun-Times. And by Xerox, the document company. Coach Barnett is on record in the preseason media guide as saying the Wildcats were good enough to have a breakthrough season. Turned out to be the understatement of the year, as the Wildcats proved to be the real deal.
During every lift or run, we always break it down at the end when we're all done, and everybody'd be like, Rose Bowl, Rose Bowl. That'd be a little chant going. So, looking back, that was really the start of it, to take us to the Rose Bowl.
During the 3-a-day preseason workouts in Camp Kenosha, Wisconsin, two words were on the minds of every Northwestern player: Notre Dame.
We kind of had a motto that said belief without evidence, which translates into faith. And then what the Notre Dame game did is it gave us evidence, and it showed us that we could do this. And not only did it show us, it showed a national audience. And it was a great fashion in which to prove that to some people and to ourselves.
What I said to them was, after we win this game, I don't want you carrying me across the field. And I said that to let them know that I believed in them as much as I knew they believed in themselves. That's all I was trying to do.